The following is a special presentation of Extreme eSpeed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and eSpeed.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plumber service.
We all need hot water. Some of us need more than others. So it's a good thing that State has a wide range of tough commercial-grade water heaters for your home. From standard models to high-efficiency and tankless models, we've got you covered, no matter where you live, what you do, or who started it. To install a State water heater in your home, visit statewaterheaters.com and use our contractor locator to find an installer near you.
Good evening and welcome to Season 3 of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. We are excited to be with you for another season of intense, exciting, fun, any adjective you want, racing here on Extreme eSpeed TV. And tonight, it is the Super Bowl of Racing presented by Vortex Wraps from the dirt track at Charlotte. And Super Bowl of Racing, expect a super good evening of action. I'll be joined alongside Travis Piercefield in the booth. And Travis, if you're here, are you excited about tonight's action?
I am. I don't know how you could not be excited to get the season started here in Charlotte, home of NASCAR. But we've got dirt late models here tonight, and it's going to be a great show. We've got drivers returning. We've got some rookies in the league this year. And we've got a lot of excitement coming all season long, but really excited to get it kicked off tonight here in Charlotte.
You're right. We really do have a lot of action, a lot of storylines to talk about. And this is even before the guys hit the track. So we will get to that. We've got a little bit of a lineup for you guys. We have some hot laps that are going on right now. The guys are getting a feel for the track. Of course, we have the Houston Guttering time trials. That's going to be a good qualifying opportunity to see where these guys kind of shake out. Of course, we have the 4 8-lap heats presented by Carrier. That'll lead us right into the Combs Cut Last Chance Showdown. As a reminder, that's 12 laps. And then a brief intermission before, as we heard, the Super Bowl of Racing presented by Vortex Wraps. So we're going to get to a few commercials in just a little bit. So stay with us and kind of settle in. It's 8 p.m. here on the East Coast, and we're excited to be with you tonight.
Racers, get the most horsepower from your great engine with ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust. ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust is an official partner of the American Crate All-Star Series and used by winning racers such as Dylan Brown, Logan Robertson, Carson Ferguson, Christian Hanger, Cody Overton, and Eli Beats. ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust, just a click of a mouse away at ProFabrication.com. Quality that wins. Get yours at ProFabrication.com.
Hello, my name is Benny Boudreau and I created the Springrthm app. The Springrthm app allows someone who doesn't have access to a spring smasher to be able to set their car up to their manufacturer's suggested install loads and center to centers, as well as be able to figure out their dynamic loads, as well as make adjustments to them to make their handling of their car better. For someone who does have a spring smasher, Springrthm will greatly reduce the amount of time to figure out those new stack setups by allowing for instantaneous spring rate changes as well as load changes. Springrthm will even make sure that your setup doesn't coil bind at the loads that you're trying to hit. For only $4.99 a month, you too can have access to the same information that top late model teams across the country are using to gain a competitive advantage.
.07 Tire and Service Center is your one-stop shop for all your car care needs, and they're now a Cooper Tire dealer. American tires for the American worker. Buy a set of Cooper tires and get free tire rotation and repairs for the life of the tire. They have a 12,000-mile or 12-month warranty on most repairs. Check out 107 Tire and Service Center. They're located at 6256 Irwin Highway, Chuckey, or call them at 423-620-4970. For all your car care needs, 107 Tire and Service Center. Family owned and operated. And their number one goal is your satisfaction. Find 107 Tire and Service Center on Facebook or call them today at 423-620-4970. Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Welcome back, everybody, to the dirt track at Charlotte. Right now, the boys are running some hot laps. So to wrap that up, and we're going to get into the Houston guttering time trials in about 8 minutes or so. So let's give it an opportunity to talk about some storylines coming into the 2022 Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. If you remember, the 2021 Series champion and 107 Tire and Service Center Rookie of the Year, Tater Williams. A lot expected of him this year, rightfully so, and he'll be looking to defend his 2021 title. Keep in mind, he'll be starting with that title defense where he is unbeaten. He has 3 straight wins at Charlotte, including sweeping all 3 events there in 2021. So whether you're new to this league or you've been a part of it the past 2 seasons going into this 3rd one, none of this should surprise you. You'll see quickly out of the gate what Tater Williams can bring, not only to this league, but just to every single show that we're watching. So enough of Tater. We're going to get a lot of Tater talk tonight, but let's also talk about the year that could be for Jacob Lassiter and Brandon Benner. They come forth as big championship contenders in the Coolray league, and this is something that I think everyone else in the league understands. You know, you're gunning for Tater at the top.
Yeah, there is. It's going to be a super competitive league this year, Adam, and I think there's a lot of excitement about some guys that are looking to improve and finishes in the past. And then, you know, others trying to hold their guard of where they're at the top of this series. So a lot of stuff. Let's go to one more commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll have racing on the track. And we are
racers. Get the most horsepower from your great engine with ProFabrication headers and exhaust. ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust is an official partner of the American Crate All-Star Series and used by winning racers such as Dylan Brown, Logan Robertson, Carson Ferguson, Christian Hanger, Cody Overton, and Eli Beats. ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust, just a click of a mouse away at ProFabrication.com. Quality that wins. Get yours at ProFabrication.com.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Hello, my name is Benny Boudreau and I created the Springrthm app. The Springrthm app allows someone who doesn't have access to a spring smasher to be able to set their car up to their manufacturer's suggested install loads and center to centers, as well as be able to figure out their dynamic loads, as well as make adjustments to them to make their handling of their car better. For someone who does have a spring smasher, Springrthm will greatly reduce the amount of time to figure out those new stack setups by allowing for instantaneous spring rate changes as well as load changes. Springrthm will even make sure that your setup doesn't coil bind at the loads that you're trying to hit. For only $4.99 a month, you too can have access to the same information that top late model teams across the country are using to gain a competitive advantage.
And welcome back, everybody, to the dirt track at Charlotte, just moments away from the Houston Guttering Time Trials. If you're new to the league or you just need a refresher, that'll be 2 cars at a time, 2 laps to determine what we're about to see in what order tonight. I just want to talk about a little bit about more of these storylines. You know, Travis and I touched on it a little bit earlier, but Dylan Perry of Ringgold, Georgia. I want to bring that name up. That's one you're going to want to remember. If we were betting tonight, that's one I want to have you look at. He's got 3 starts and 1 win. I'd say that's a pretty good start to the season. So that came in Eldora back in 2021. And so really it's going to be a busy month of action. You may think, okay, it's the first race of the season, but really there's a lot more to come. And that comes with the Coolray Winter Nationals from Volusia upcoming this year. That'll be on the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 24th. So if you're tuning in tonight, this is kind of a teaser for what's going to get into a very busy and lengthy season of great racing in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. So we are just mere moments away now from qualifying on your screens, and we're glad you decided to spend your evening with us. And a lot of names to watch, and we're excited really to follow along with you. We'll give you an intro of each driver. We'll have the opportunity to talk about where they're from, sponsors on their car, And by the end of the season, just like with us, you're going to know these guys like the back of your hand, and we are excited to bring you this action on Extreme eSpeed TV. And we've got the cars now pulling out from the pits one by one. A reminder, at this track, 30 mile per hour is the speed limit here on the pits. And we'll start right here with this will be the number 98 of Justin Thompson from Fairmount, Georgia, rocking the Longhorn for late model. And some of his sponsors include Hood Up Motorsports, Thompson Design, Sim Motion US, Sim Magic, Dirt Chasers Media, Grassroots Media. He's got a lot on the car right now. We'll see what he can turn tonight in the Houston Guttering Time Trials. And of course, you watch those first laps from our very own Justin Thompson out of Fairmount, Georgia. And we've got Tater Williams coming up. Tater Williams, we've talked about him a lot in this broadcast. It's not going to be the first or the last time you hear about him if you follow this league this season. Coming out of Clifty, Kentucky in the Longhorn chassis. Sponsored by Coolray, Chip Bangers Racing, Combs Cuts, B&B Custom Baits, DPR, Bangin' Sets, Phantom Race Engines, and Stealth Carburetors. I'm stuck on this car.
And it looks like the pace car has its lights off, Adam, and we are going green next time by as Dylan Perry leads us to the green flag, the first heat race of the 2022 season.
That's right. And the lights are off. The cars are turning. And the first carrier heat of the 2022 season is underway. Beautiful fanning out there. They're kind of keeping their distance right now, but we still have Dylan Perry holding up. Ooh, a little bit of bumping up there. Kind of pushes Aiden Young out to the side, but it's not going to deter him from holding that second spot.
It's going to be interesting, Adam, as the race and the night goes on, what the groove does. Does it widen out, or are you going to get grip down low? It's going to be real interesting to see what that groove does throughout the day.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're kind of all over the place right now. It shows me that they're getting a feel for it. They know that it's the heats. It's not the feature quite yet, and they're kind of proving that with the way they were kind of attacking this and strategizing early on. As we see, Perry still holding well with about 5 laps to go. Not too much change. You get a little bit of a dive there by the number 22 of Brandon Bender. One you're going to want to watch out for. Third season here in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series League. And we'll see if he can get past the 69 there. That 69 of Aiden Young is holding strong. He's loving that high side just like Perry's enjoying the low. They're sticking to what they're comfortable with. Let's see if Dylan can hold on here. He's got a decent lead right now, but no lead is safe at this track, especially this early when drivers are still kind of figuring out the track. But he sure has closed the gap there. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go here on Extreme eSpeed TV, the first carrier heat of the night. And it looks like Dylan Perry, and you hold him off. We're about to find out. Coming to the final turn, coming to the line. Nice finish right there for Dylan Perry. And of course, a really strong run there by Aiden Young. If the heats kind of run like that, we're in for a treat tonight. So coming up now, we will have heat number 2. And we'll start on the front row with Steven Spies, with Jacob Lassiter. Right there in the middle, we have Brett Carlton and Chase Wascom. And then, of course, you'll have Cody Terry on the inside of the last row and Joshua Johnson with Vortex Motorsports. So another competitive heat we're probably about to see right here. So if you missed that first one, or you saw the first one, this is a good one to kind of compare it to. And that pace car will lead the group around. Interesting to see how the dirt changed for the guys on the track. You know, Travis touched on it earlier. They're going to want to kind of play the lower line. And we think we're going to see them kind of fan out towards the high line of the wall and maybe even come back down when we actually get to the feature. So stay tuned here. Pace car leading them around. The boys get in position. The crowd looks pretty full. You know, as a reminder, I believe this holds about 14,000 seats. So wherever you're joining us from tonight, we appreciate it here at the dirt track at Charlotte. No talk of asphalt tonight. When we're in Charlotte, I know a lot of people talk about the big motor speedway, but this is where the action is tonight. That pace car is gone, and we are green for heat number 2 of the carrier heats. What a strong start there. Trying to hold that bottom line is the number 55 of Steven Spies. Wow, coming down low, though. Look at that dive. Incredible. We have a new leader with Brett Carlton and Steven Speed. Not completely out of it. They are just mixing and matching right now. Almost a little contact there around 4th and 5th. But just like that, the 55 of Steven Speed wants it. And we are 2 to 3 wide, and they are fanning in and out. My goodness, right now. Still a few laps to go. No drastic moves. Ooh, a little bump and a grind in there between Speeds and Lassiter, and they go back and forth. And we have, contact for almost everyone involved. What do we got to even see there, Travis? I'm not quite sure what I just saw.
They were mixing it up front. The top four drivers were throwing it in there both ends of the track, and it finally caught up to them there at the end, going through 3 and 4.
You just knew, as we watched the Coolray instant replay here on Extreme eSpeed TV, you just knew that was not going to end safely per se. They were getting a little wild really from the start. As you kind of watch the contact right there, yeah, Lassiter and Speeds kind of touch a little bit, and I think that just set off a little too deep there for the 55 of Steven Speeds, and from there on, it's kind of chaos.
We've got 3 laps, a lot of action this race. The first race, they fanned out quick, spread out across the track. This one, they've stayed really tight, especially with those top 4, really top 5. So we're about halfway through heat number 2. Jacob Lassiter will take us back to green. Carlton in second. Johnson third. Terry fourth.
This heat's still.
And here we go. They're back single file right now as they make some laps around the track.
You think this action? We this race. I don't think a lot of this contact is on purpose. I think there's a lot of time left in this season, so I think these are really guys just testing out the track right now. So, like what we're seeing, good action. We are back here at the carrier number 2. I like what I'm seeing right now out of Jacob Lassiter. That 51 car, he's got control. I'm interested in seeing him maybe around some other cars. Flag 1 to go here at heat number 2. No. Lassiter's going to give it up. A little bit of contact, but nothing too scary as Jacob Lassiter takes
The carrier heat. Heating. So you figure with the Heat 2 results, Jacob Blaster, Brett Carlson, Cody Terry, round out your top. And then eSpeed, the rookie, DC Smith. All right, Terry Heat. Taylor Williams up front, Justin Thompson just to the outside of him, Dylan Hutchison third, DC Smith fourth, Andy Pierce to the Woodstock, Georgia. Rounding up the rear here at the dirt track at Charlotte for number 3. Reminder, 4 heats tonight, 8 laps each. Top 4 get locked into the feature. First, we'll have that Homestead Last Chance Showdown. For this Homestead feet a cut above. Race card lap. We are just about set for carrier heat number 3 as the cars begin to accelerate. And here we go. A little bit wobbly there in the back of the pack. He is really enjoying that outside line right now.
Tater's starting to pull away. You got Justin Thompson second, Dylan Hutchinson battling him for second. Smith and Andy Piercefield rounding out the field currently as Tater's pulling away as he moves down to the inside. He's completed now 5 laps as we're halfway through.
He's right now that Tater's running with.
Tater continues to lead as he's moved to the high side. He's really moving all over the track there. Each place he goes to seems to be working out well for him. He comes around, 7 laps complete. We'll take the white flag next time by. Second, Thompson. Third, Hutchinson. Smith, fourth. Piercefield, fifth. Tater moves down to the inside in 3 and 4. Moving all over the track as he takes the white flag. Tater Williams will come around the checkered flag, and carrier heat number 3 is Charlotte.
All right, the action isn't done yet for the carrier heat. We've got John Bosley, Zach Chapman, Cody Early, Brian Boyles, and Dustin Kenyon coming up here. We'll see the pace car get them all started and moving. Very excited to see really how the track is transitioned. I'll tell you what, though. Tater Williams, what he did to the track, he really opened it up. He really showed that you can gain some ground. You can get some separation. So maybe that is Tater. Maybe that is just his experience being so strong. I'm eager to see, though, what this final carrier heat has to offer for both really the guys driving the cars and seeing how they can advance tonight, but also just us as viewers. I'm really excited to see this action. We got Foskey out of Dublin, Georgia, in that Longhorn chassis. He's got Coleman, Sun and Painting, Banging Sets, B&B Bates, Comb Cuts, and Chip Bangers Racing. First year on the tour with the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. So I'm actually kind of excited. This is a name to watch when we've heard about. Green flag is live out there. Carrier heat number 4. Oh, a little bit of contact there. 3rd and 4th. It doesn't knock either driver out, though, which is key. Still running strong. A little bit of separation there right now between Fosley and Chapman, the rookie. Boyle's able to avoid complete damage, but a little bit far back there in the 5th spot. Carrier heat number 4. Much like Tater Williams, we're seeing Foskey kind of dominate really from the start of the heat. They're short, so they're going to move quick, but I think this is a good learning opportunity. If you know you're not able to possibly get past the leader, I'd say this is a great opportunity. Get a feel for the track. It's going to change, but really give yourself confidence tonight. Clear separation right now. Fans are in for a treat right now. There we go, everybody. Great heat races. Thanks to Carrier for the sponsorship of that. Carrier, leading low back, refrigeration, fire, and security solutions. So next up, we have the Holmes Cut Last Chance Showdown. John Talkington, start out of the Mid-South. Chase Wascom, great name to watch tonight. Andy Piercefield, 3rd. Brian Voiles, 4th. Jordan Van Westen, 5th. And Joshua Johnson, 6th. So these are really all names that you're going to see all year. You're going to get to know, and you're going to enjoy. I've seen this racing personally myself over the last couple of seasons, and I can tell you these guys bring it every single week, and it's a pleasure to have them in the league. And it's a pleasure to have you all listening and watching with us tonight. Travis Piercefield on the technical side of things right now, really helping us out with the broadcast, and we're excited to be here. And like we talked about, ready to see you in a couple of weeks too, when we get the Coolray Winter Nationals. So let's enjoy tonight right now and get set for the Combs Cut Last Chance Showdown. 12 laps leading us into the feature. So as you see, John Paul Talkinen out of Denham Springs, Louisiana, in that Dark Horse chassis. This will be his second year in the league. And we are green with the Combs Cut Last Chance Showdown. And man, this action is tight right now. Yeah, Chase Wascom, a name to watch, a name to remember, a name you might already know with John Tockington still battling there. And look at Andy Piercefield taking second right now. Loving the action. Look at those beautiful blue and white colors rounding the track here at the dirt track at Charlotte. And he's digging deep. Could he possibly pass up Chase? Well, let's just keep tuning in and finding out. Love seeing that Charlotte logo there by the dirt. A little bit of separation now between Chase and Andy. And that's okay because that gives us a quite battle between Andy and John right now. There's Chase there at the bottom left of your screen. Out of Louisiana, he's got 13 career wins in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. He's about to add a Last Chance Showdown win, if that's anything. I don't want to jinx it, but we are halfway through Showdown right now. A good battle there, second and third between Andy and John. But there still is a second and a quarter gap taking place right now. Not sure. It's going to take possibly a mistake right now from Weston for them to catch up. But Andy did create a little bit of separation there. He's got about a 0.8 of a second gap. Look at that 48 of John Tockington. That'll be some nice colors. I like that on the black surface. Behind him, Brian Boyles in the 41. So this is not going to be the last time you see these boys. Both tonight there's a couple laps to go in this Combs Cut Last Chance Showdown. And I don't know if you're like me, and hopefully you are. This is just getting you more and more excited for what's to come in the feature. The Super Bowl of Racing presented by Vortex Wraps. Next time around, though, we will have the last lap in this Last Chance Showdown. And that consistency right now is Chase takes the white flag. 1 to go here at the dirt track. Just look at him hitting his marks. He's going low. He's swinging up high. Going back down low and just making it look clean. Just running that bottom line. And Chase Wascom takes the Combs Cut Chance Showdown. Right behind him, a strong run from Andy Piercefield, John Tockington. Of course, you have Brian Boyles, Joshua Johnson, and Jordan Van Weston rounding out the rest of the showdown. So we're going to be back to you guys in just a little bit. We're going to throw to commercials, pay some bills. We'll be right back here on Extreme eSpeed TV.
Racers, get the most horsepower from your great engine with ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust. ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust is an official partner of the American Crate All-Star Series and used by winning racers such as Dylan Brown, Logan Robertson, Carson Ferguson, Christian Hanger, Cody Overton, and Eli Beats. ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust, just a click of a mouse away at ProFabrication.com. Quality that wins. Get yours at ProFabrication.com.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
.107 Tire and Service Center is your one-stop shop for all your car care needs, and they're now a Cooper Tire dealer. American tires for the American worker. Buy a set of Cooper tires and get free tire rotation and repairs for the life of the tire. They have a 12,000-mile or 12-month warranty on most repairs. Check out 107 Tire and Service Center. They're located at 6256 Irwin Highway, Chuckey, or call them at 423-620-4970. For all your car care needs, 107 Tire and Service Center. Family owned and operated. And their #1 goal is your satisfaction. Find 107 Tire and Service Center on Facebook or call them today at 423-620-4970.
We take many precautions to stay protected. Online protection requires the same amount of precaution. Cybercrime is a $6 trillion industry. Roughly 158 people fall victim to this type of crime every second, and a business will be compromised every 11 seconds. In the last 3 years alone, the number of malicious websites has increased by 130%. Bottom line, you need protection from someone you trust. Call Computer Pros for protection plans as low as $4 a month.
It rose from humble beginnings in the Valley of the Sun. A sprint car racer saw the need for racing shirts. And now, the vision of Carl Korbacher has resulted in Arizona Sport Shirts helping racers across America spread their message. For the best custom designed shirts, hoodies, caps, koozies, and much more, go to ArizonaSportShirts.com. Be part of history.
New year, new season. Extreme eSpeed TV brings you live coverage of the Light Electric Company Next Gen Series. See the Next Gen Series' biggest stars battle in iRacing's most competitive series. Elbows up, hammer down action. The Light Electric Company Next Gen Series, live on Extreme eSpeed TV. Your home for everything eSpeed.
Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Dirt Track at Charlotte. I want to thank you, of course, for tuning in and also bearing with us. We got a little bit of some technical difficulties going on. First broadcast of the season, but this is not what we expect, nor what you should expect from Extreme eSpeed TV. So we will continue to improve both tonight and through the season. So we really appreciate you bearing with us. And one thing we did not have to apologize for was the on-track action that we saw earlier today, both in the Carrier Heats and the Combs Cut Last Chance Showdown. So I know Travis Pearsall and I, we're having a blast, joining you as we just hit about an hour on the broadcast, and got a lot more action that we're going to jam pack into this, which of course kicks off with the reason you're here, the reason you're watching. That is the Super Bowl of Racing presented by Vortex Wraps. Now, if you're unfamiliar, if you're new to this, at the Dirt Track at Charlotte, it'll be 40 laps, 4-0, and expect them to be very action-packed. Expect to see guys like Tater, Chase Wascom, all kind of handling their own, really setting the bar tonight, and we saw that. Also, I kind of want to touch on this. Last Chance Showdown. Name to watch this during, another year with us will be Andy Pearskill. So you saw the way he ran. I know he's working a lot on his rig this year. Keep watching. It's going to be a good guy to watch this year. Just a moment, we're going to go over starting lineups, and I think the drivers are getting loaded in right now. And we got a lot to watch and a lot to cover. All right, boys and girls, we have the drivers lined up for the feature. We're going to go 4 wide, give you guys a little bit of a show, and we're going to go green. And just so everybody knows, kind of leads into this, we'll have Dylan Perry out front. Jacob Laster, who had kind of a crazy Carrier Heat number 2 tonight, he'll be just on the outside, and it looks like we're shifting a few things around as these boys have the green flag in there. All win the pace. Green flag from the booth on and get moving. There's going to be a lot of dirt kicking. We're going to see some up and down, some swinging, some banging. You throw the adjective out there, you're probably going to see it as they kick off the season. I mean, these guys have been racing kind of one-offs throughout the off-season, but this is what they've been waiting all year for. There is big money on the line this season, some of the highest payouts yet. We have yet to see, and check out that 4 wide. One of my favorite things that we see every year from Charlotte. Real cars are virtual. That is very just another added to the list of reasons why we race. And they're kind of led right now by the 95 of Dylan Hutchison out of Holt Summit, Missouri, in that Longhorn chassis. And of course, they'll kind of fan back into their positions as we get prepared. It looks like Dylan Perry, he's fired up right now. Rightfully so. Dylan Perry in his second season here. Perry actually has 4 career top 5s in the Pro Late Model Dirt Series here, so maybe he'll get 5, number 5. We're getting word here. See if car will pull off or not. Otherwise, we might have another lap here as the boys still kind of get lined up. It looks like they will do at least one more lap. I'm expecting to see that pace car pull off and get some green action. And you'll notice the octaves go from pretty smooth right now to very high energy, very high level, which is what you should expect from the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. The pace car is off, and we've been waiting a long time to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Super Bowl of racing presented by Vortex Wraps, and we are green from the dirt track at Charlotte. The boys are fanning low and high, not much taking place right in the middle, and nice defense there by Dylan Perry as Tater Williams, who, as you know, can dominate, takes the lower line. Nice coverage there by Dylan Perry, but it is going to be a battle all night, and there's dirt flying on that top line. Look at that. A little different than the feature. Not much contact, and I'm not trying to jinx it. Definitely not trying to jinx it, but that is a nice high line run where Williams, Perry right in front of him. Bosley even making some moves on his own. But I'm very impressed right now with what we're seeing from Dylan Perry, especially when you know a guy like Tater Williams is following, breathing right down your neck. I mean, this is the action we like to see. Clean racing. We even almost had 3 wide there at the very end. I know you got Andy Piercefield sitting in 19th right now, jumping up quickly. As you can see on your screen, we are lap 5. A little bit of a caution. Caution is out. We'll see if we can get the Coolray play up to see exactly what happened. Gotta love that pace car's enthusiasm to get back out there and lead these boys. But wow, I mean, talk about great racing. And it wasn't even a large, multi-car, big field crash. They kind of set that caution off. I mean, we had some really smooth, some really clean racing. I'll tell you, one guy who might not be thrilled about that caution play coming out would be Dylan Perry. You've got a pretty sizable and consistent lead there on Tater Williams. But even behind that, we saw the battle for third, the battle for fifth. It was there, and it was there early. Not much contact. I think everybody's just trying to give space. No one also wants to get knocked out this early, not only in the race, but in the season. These guys have been waiting a long time for this as that pace car continues to lead them out. Look at that jam-packed crowd, 14,000 capacity in this track. Built in 2000. Host, of course, you probably know this, the Dirt Late Models, Sprint Cars, Monster Trucks, World of Outlaws. Of course, those finals are November 2nd through the 5th of 2022. Might need to, especially the way they're racing tonight, might need to get back out there. As the pace car comes off, we're about to go back green here at the dirt track. Restack them, re-rack them, and get ready. We are green once again, the Super Bowl of racing, presented by Vortex Wraps. They fly into that first turn. Ooh, Tater, a much better start than he probably had there at the beginning of the race. But Dylan Perry holds strong. We are 3 wide for second place. And, of course, they clear. No contact. Like to see that. Still a little early. Of course, Tater Williams of Chip Bangers Racing breathing down the neck of Dylan Perry. And it is not a large gap at all. I'm looking here at the scoring and timing. We're talking about 0.2 of a second is the difference. Oh, I like the diving going on there by the number 93. That apologies, Justin Thompson making some great moves right there. But still a strong lead from Dylan Perry. He is handling the restarts well. And he's showing that he's comfortable out front. Exactly where Tater wants to be, exactly where Justin Thompson wants to be, and Aiden Young. I like that. Oh, caution comes out. As the flagman enthusiastically waves it. It looks like I'm looking at the number 29. That'll be DC Smith out of Washington, West Virginia, the Team Zero race cars chassis. Not exactly quite sure, but he definitely got spun around there. And as you saw the guys come back, we'll get your Coolray instant replay right here. Thanks to my man Travis. And let's watch together. Coming around, you'll notice top middle of your screen. Coming around nicely. Oh, just made contact there. Oh, got hit right into the wall. So that did affect 3 or 4 cars, and that's not comfortable. That's not what you want to see. 11 laps into this 40-lap battle. But really, and we saw it really from lap number 1. This Dylan Perry, Tater Williams back and forth battling going on right now. It's exciting. Tater Williams comes into this third season. He's got 15 career top 5s. He's 11th in Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series history with his 19 starts. Lights are still on the pace car, so got a few things. It looks like Kenyon's off the track right now. Andy's off the track, getting some work done going on. See if we can get them back out here and racing on this track. But we appreciate you watching. A reminder, if you're enjoying what you're seeing or if you're just kind of getting into this, please follow along with the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series on Facebook. Of course, we have the YouTube for the Extreme eSpeed TV. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get more intense, especially when people start remembering, hey, there's big money on the line this season. The racing is going to be pretty fun. Those lights about to come off pretty soon for that pace car, and hopefully in just the next lap around, we can get you going green, get these laps going. You believe it already, 25% done with this race. If you remember, this is one of the names I told you guys about, Dylan Perry of Ringgold, Georgia. He's got 3 starts coming into this with a win. Funny, start number 4, 2 wins. That's going to put a lot of guys on notice. That's going to put a target on his back like it is the guy right behind him right now, Tater Williams, our 2021 series champion. So the guys that you kind of heard about all season last year and coming in to this season are showing exactly what they're doing. But we always encourage you, don't always look at the first 2 guys. Look at those 4th, 5th, 6th place battles, because that sets up a lot of what will come around. As the pace car comes back down and around, we're about to go green here. So as the flag man drops the green flag, looks like he faked this out there. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but we got the pace car back out here. I was ready to go. I know Travis to my right, he was ready to go too. We were pumped up. We were ready to get racing. All right, pace car comes off again. Fool me once, it's on you. Hopefully don't fool me twice. And they're going, and we are green, pedals down, green flags down, and we've got racing from the dirt track, running that high line, both Dylan Perry and Tater Williams. I like the strategy, though. Justin Thompson, he's trying to get a feel for that low line. He's swinging back up. We've got 3 wide, deep in the middle pack. Ooh, a little bit of action. Hopefully we don't see green flag or yellow. Yellow does not come out. We are still green flag racing from the dirt track. You'll see there in the 4th place, you have John Foskey of Chip Bangers Racing. Oh, and they are trading paints. No cautions. This is dangerous. This is very early. We are only 13 laps in, and there is the caution. To no surprise, right? if you guys are noticing right now, especially right now on your screen there, center, the track is darkening up. So a lot like what Travis really opened the broadcast with, talking about how they're going to run the low line. Then even in like the Combs cut, last chance, we had them run the high line. That middle, it's going to be there if these boys want it. It's darkened up. And think about this, how much this track has changed in just really a short period of time. I mean, we're maybe 30% done with this race possibly, and it's only going to get a little more messy and get a little slick, I feel like, for these boys. We kind of got some intel earlier. We were asking questions, people who kind of know more than even really he or I, and this track will change. These guys, they've known this race has been on the schedule, so they've had time to prepare, and you've kind of seen that. It hasn't been sloppy driving at all, which is actually, these cautions are just because of the intensity that these boys are bringing. So I'm hoping we get to bring that pace car in and maybe run, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, 20 uninterrupted laps. That would certainly change the surface of this track. And as a reminder, if you're wondering, hey, when are these boys going to track? Well, we have the Coolray Winter Nationals from Volusia, February 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Car right now, I have to go back green. 11 minutes into this feature, engines roaring, crowd roaring, and we're ready. We're green once again for the dirt track at Charlotte. Similar restarts we've seen really the last 3 before this. Got Dylan Perry holding strong. Justin Thompson, I feel like he's going to be a factor playing that low line. But he's almost in front of Tater. We might be a couple swings away from him taking that over. Ooh, a little bumpy, though. Good recovery by Tater. Seasoned veteran. He's in trouble right now getting around Dylan Perry. And that caution looks to be back out. Just 6 laps in, boys. It breaks. Pace car's out. Your guess is as good as mine right now in terms of where that caution came from. But that's, I mean, you can almost copy and paste those restarts from really the last 2 that we saw prior to this one. It might even come down when we talk about this Perry battle, with Williams. It might come down to who's going to make a slip, who's going to, just spin the wrong way. We'll see. But it's coming down to that every time, and it might even be driving these guys in 3rd and 4th. But Thompson, he's doing everything he can right now on that bottom line, and I think he should. At this point, he's destined for a top 3 finish with just the resiliency he's showing right now. That pace car is coming back in, so you know what that means. Crowd is back on their feet. I'm about to stand up right now in the booth as we're approaching halfway through the Super Bowl of racing, presented by Vortex Wraps. We're green again. Engines roaring. You can see the boys right there. If you can look closely enough, you see them turning those wheels quick. Dylan Perry still holding Tater. Ooh, almost had some contact underneath there with the 128 of John Fosley. Or Bosky. My apologies. Dylan Perry running that well right now. He just seems to be not even a step ahead. I'd say a half step And Bernard Taylor is just waiting for him to make a mistake. He is hunting him down, kind of pull the trick, pull something out of his sleeve. But he doesn't. We're just about to hit 20 laps, approaching the halfway point here in Super Bowl of Racing, presented by Vortex Wraps. Nice defense. Perry just playing it well as we get the caution now, just as we that halfway point. Here's that Coolray cooling heat plumbing. It looks like Cody Terry crashed, possibly. Watch together. Oh, look at the 25. Spin around. Oh, end as well. Rough way to start this season. More than 25 of Cody Terry out of Gastonia, North Carolina, in that Longhorn chassis. He's been with this Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series since its fruition. So he'll be back. Long season. Not worried at all. Seeing some guys pitting right now. As mentioned, about halfway. About 20 laps in, 20 minutes into this race. Just about. Been pretty good action. And really, it's tough because we're going to see maybe some different styles of driving, even from track to track. And that's exciting, but it's also tough to predict from our side, if we had to put odds on it, I think, odds on favorites beginning of the year. I personally, aside from Dylan Perry, I look at a lot of these guys who have been on the tour for all 3 seasons. We're talking about Dustin Kenyon. We're talking about Cody Early, Chase Wascom. We haven't said Chase Wascom's name a lot tonight. It looks like at the moment, I know they're still shuffling around, but our live scoring puts him in that 15 spot. And I know he's moving up and down, but it's uncharacteristic of him really to not even get a top 10. So watch that. If he doesn't end up, with the top 5, I'm calling it Chase Wascom move up to the top 10. And if that's the case for Chase, he leads career history for the Coolray Pro Late Model Series League. Chase has 24 career top 10s, just one in front of Brandon Bender's top 10. And of course, think about this: 21 of those 24 top 10s were actually top 5s for Chase. So it's almost like he's top 5 or nothing, or bust, right? That pace car is off now. More than halfway through. Engines are go, and we are back at the dirt track. Similar restart. It's a copy and paste right now, but it's working for Dylan Perry, and it's actually working for Tater Williams as he's holding that second place line, not even really battling for second. So I'm going to watch out for Josh Talkington, up 10 spots since the start of the race. A lot of shuffling going on right now, and we have another caution. And that one looks to have affected a handful of vehicles. So cautions will bring cautions early in this one, and pretty curious to see. The middle of the pack. It's not. I would say the middle to really the last quarter of the pack, it's not safe right now. And it's not any doing of the guys. Not. They're playing it well. They're playing it safe. And really, everyone's just trying to keep pace right now. I'm looking at these lap times and the space between and clear away. Race number 1 this season has been a Dylan Perry, Tater Williams, Justin Thompson show. And you may have noticed as you're watching kind of on your screen when we flash everybody up there, but we've got a couple of rookies right now. Zach Chapman, Steven Spies, those guys are in the mix. And we're talking in the mix in this league. That could be, much to the chagrin of the other guys in this league, the guys that have been around a while. It could be tough to watch those rookies come in. So, pace car is back off. We're over 50% of the way done here from the dirt track. They're lined up. Engines are go. And engines are slowed as that pace car comes back out. Not sure what exactly cleanup duty. But I was fired up. I was ready to go. We'll try this again as the pace car comes off the track. We'll see if it's, like I mentioned already a couple times, I'm copying and pasting my own call right now. Are we going to see Dylan Perry up top, Tater following up top? We're about to find out as we are green at the dirt track. And yes, it is up top, down low from Thompson. And this is what we've seen. Is it going to eventually cause the change in the standings? I don't know. Those boys are moving out there. Send to this green flag. No caution yet, but you can tell. Oh, there's a little bit of bumping and grinding there towards the back half. So far, no caution out. They may have recovered as Dylan is enjoying a comfortable lead, but is there any comfortable lead when you're in Charlotte? I don't think so. Unless you're like a lap above. I do not think so. But it is, in terms of what we've seen so far in this race, it is a comfortable lead. Perry above Williams. And that gap right now is a second. It's teetering right underneath, depending on how they're entering each turn. And we might actually get some lap traffic, possibly. I don't know if as we come back, there was some straggling going on. So the field is spaced out. As we're just a couple laps away from being 75% complete. It is flying by. That's what happens when you get these 40-lap shootouts of races. Loving that Coolray quarter panel there on Tater Williams. And we got another caution just came out. 30 laps, 10 to go. So we're going to see some intensity. Ooh, and that looks like the number 15 of Chase Wascom. If that's the case, that's uncharacteristic. If you've been watching prior to this season, that does not happen. I'll tell you one person who's earning their money tonight is that pace car driver. Poor man has not had a break yet tonight. Anyone else loving these iRacing views we're getting right now? And throughout the season here with the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series and eSpeed, we ran out different cameras, on-car cameras. Really, anything we can do. Let us know. Comment. Shoot us some comments. Shoot us some notes, whether it's on Facebook or whether it's on the YouTube comments. We do read those. We do care. And we want to connect with you guys this season. It's going to be a season that runs all the way. I'm looking at the schedule. This is going to go deep into the year. So we're talking October. We got a lot of opportunity to connect with you guys, and we're excited about that. We appreciate you tuning into this first race of the season. Don't forget the 3-day Coolray Winter Nationals coming up. We're going to mention it again because you're not going to want to miss it. I promise you that. You're not going to want to miss it. Another thing you're not going to want to miss is really the end of this race. And it feels like, still 25% of the race to go. Well, guess what? That's 10 laps, and those laps are flying by, especially when we stay green flag. If Travis was on this broadcast right now, we'd probably go back and forth. We talk about, okay, what are we expecting to see right now? Are we expecting the whole Larry McReynolds cautions breeding caution? I think we might. If I put it the over-under, I'm going to put it at 3.5. And I might take the over. All right, pace car is off. Can we have a clean race here? This is not to make enemies. These are guys doing this, enjoying it, and Dylan Perry is enjoying the lead right now over Tater Williams. Oh, that low dive by Justin Thompson. It's going to work. You think it's going to work one of these times, right? First year in the league. I am very impressed with what we're seeing out of Thompson. Not a name many people talk about in the storyline, but he's making a name for himself right now. Week 1. And Perry is just having one of the cleanest races. If this holds up, you're really excited to kind of chat with him after. So you want to stick with us, try and get some driver interviews if we're able to. I got a lot I want to get out of him because he's really showing up right now. And such, I guess you call a newbie to the league, but definitely not a newbie to iRacing. Just in awe right now watching them kind of just make their runs and surprised they haven't seen the caution this time. We have 5 laps to go. Intense. And look at that gap. We're talking a deep distance right now between first and second. And Perry, at this point, you're hitting your lines, hitting your marks. Finish it as easy as can be. Ooh, and there is that caution we were kind of expecting. Looks like that hit John Talkington with the crash. Talkington out of down Springs, Louisiana, to pull up the Coolray heating and cooling plant electrical instant replay. So let's watch here together. Talkington number 48. Ooh, just a little low, probably lower than you'd like to be. And really, that comes at a very difficult time for Dylan Perry. I mean, we all saw it. That was a sizable lead he had on Tater Williams, and it would be really nothing short of heartbreaking. I'm not trying to do the announcer jinx. If something happened to him here, the way that Perry has raced has been phenomenal. And you reach this point in the race where if it's not a win, even if it's second, you got a bad taste in your mouth, and it's tough because you got to wait a couple weeks before you get back in the car again in this league with the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, right? So we got them lined back up. And we've got ourselves a little bit of fun with just a couple laps to go. They'll make their way, approaching the green flag, just a couple laps to go in the Super Bowl of racing. Oh my goodness. He is just so consistent. Those restarts are so consistent from Dylan Perry. He's holding off Tater Williams, lap 39. Just about one to go in this 40-lap battle. Thank you to Vortex Wraps for putting on this show, the Super Bowl of racing. See a car just go off. We've got one to go from Charlotte. Hitting his marks, staying up high where he stayed really the entire race. We are just a moment away. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Dylan Perry taking Super Bowl of racing presented by Vortex Wraps, the first winner. Incredible, incredible finish, incredible action. Wow. And those are the three that, really deserved it. Good to go. Good job, Dylan Perry. You have Williams second, Thompson third, Foskey fourth, Lassiter fifth, Carlton sixth, Aiden Young seventh, Hutchison eighth, Spees ninth, and Chapman rounding out the top 10. We'll be right back here on Extreme TV. Run the commercial, and we'll be right back with our winner.
From humble beginnings in the Valley of the Sun, a sprint car racer saw the need for racing shirts. And now, the vision of Carl Korbacher has resulted in Arizona Sport Shirts helping racers across America spread their message. For the best custom designed shirts, hoodies, caps, koozies, and much more, go to ArizonaSportShirts.com. Be part of history, Arizona.
And welcome back, everybody. What a show we had in the Super Bowl of racing. It's Adam Johnson, Travis Pearsall, and we are happy to be joined alongside Tater Williams. And Tater, watching those restarts, you were so close. It almost looked like we were copying and pasting the restarts each and every time. What was it that was just so difficult to get, just overtake that first place leader?
First and foremost on the restarts, my timing was a little bit off. That kind of killed me a little bit, and Dylan there was able to get a jump out in front of me, but the track was on the cushion the entire time basically, so it was going to be hard to pass him for the lead. You're going to have to throw a slider and hope you get a good enough run off the corner that he just wouldn't drive back around you. But racetrack was good, racing was good, I enjoyed it.
Was there any point in that race tonight where you were like, okay, this is was there any, whether it's halfway, was it early on, was there any point where you're like, okay, I think I can do this? Or did you kind of say, okay, this might be my lot in life, second place tonight?
I was debating early on whether trying to throw a slider on him or not and taking the lead from him or just riding behind him, and I chose to ride behind him, but I think that was the wrong move. I should have slid him a little earlier when I was closer to him, but I pulled up on him a little bit on that last restart. There were 3 to go, and I was hoping we'd have a couple more laps. If the caution would have came out a few laps earlier, I'd found something before that caution, and I hope to be able to use it against him. But good run to him and good run to Justin as well. They both had top-notch fast cars, and we move on to Volusia.
That's right. We appreciate it, Tater. Any sponsors you want to thank before we let you go?
First and foremost, I got to thank Andy Piercefield over at Coolray. I got to thank him for all he does for me. Brandon Bender with B&B Custom Baits. Combs Cuts with Brandon Combs with Combs Cuts. He did a hell of a job on the tires tonight and was able to put this car up front for him. I got to thank Bangin' Sets, Chip Bangers Racing, all the guys associated with the team, and just all the guys that support me week in and week out.
All right, Tater. Well, we appreciate it. Coming in second place tonight and bringing in the third place finisher, guy who was really consistent, Justin Thompson. Justin, you really were right in that low line, especially around restarts. What do you think it would have took? Or are you happy with the third place finish? Because you were running strong on.
Oh man, the car was just so tight, dude. It was about the only thing I could do on the restart was to run the bottom. It was, I mean, you had, the car was really, really so tight that, I could get up to Tater, but I couldn't try to turn under him or anything. I mean, to run the bottom, you had about a lap or 2 off of a restart, and that was it through 1 and 2, and the car was just so tight that you couldn't get it to turn down anymore at that point. And it was making it really hard when I'd get to Tater and want to try to turn underneath him. It car's so tight that it just kills all your momentum you've got.
Well, it was tight enough. It was good enough for you to, hold that third place all night. Was it tight all night, including even, the warm-ups and qualifying, or was it really, really get more difficult the more the night went on?
It was snug. It was kind of a neutral snug in practice. Qualifying, I couldn't get it to rotate at all in qualifying. Heat races, I used the slick a little bit to get the car to turn. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Justin. Any sponsors you want to thank before we let you?
Yeah, my team, Hood Up Motorsports, Grassroots Media, Dirt Chasers Media, Matt Julius Speed Shop, Sim Magic, Sim Motion, and ButtKicker Racing Engines. Be sure to check out shopfergie22.com.
We appreciate it, Justin. Definitely be proud of that third place finish. Thank you for your time as we bring in Mr. 7P Dylan Perry, our winner of the Super Bowl of Racing presented by Vortex Wraps. Dylan, were you getting a little nervous? Tater, champion from last year, he was breathing down your neck all night. Did you ever feel comfortable?
There was a couple times on those restarts, I'd get that front end shoving a little bit, and I was waiting for him to pass me, but he usually races pretty smart, and he's going to wait until he's not going to try to throw a haymaker right there at the first of the race. And right there near the end, I was trying to almost be conservative and not hit the wall or do anything just dumb to give the race away, and he started reeling me in. And I started getting a little nervous because I figured he was going to throw a slider on those last couple of laps, and he had the speed to do it, but if give him a couple more laps, I'm pretty sure we'd have had a heck of a race for the lead.
Absolutely, and no reason to be nervous anymore. You got the win, and how does it feel? First race of the season, no one really knows what to expect. You got some new guys. How does it feel to begin the year with that win? Is that good momentum? Is it always good to have that win under?
It's always hard to get that first one. The first one is the hardest thing you can do, but usually after you get that first one, it's like the pressure's off, and now I can just go race and just try to stay consistent. And ride this momentum wave as long as it'll let me.
All right. Well, before we let you go, I'll give you a chance to remind our viewers, who the sponsors are this year on your car.
I got to give a big shout out to Andy over at Coolray. He's a tremendous help. Rapid Race Graphics East and Rapid Race Graphics, Masterbuilt Equipment, Stealth Carburetors, Newt's Lawn Care, Phantom Race Engines, Chip Bangers Racing. Those guys, they've helped me tremendously. And it's hard to thank each one of them individually, but I appreciate every single one of them more than they'll ever know. Banging Sets, B&B Custom Baits, Combs Cuts, just everybody that helps me week in and week out trying to get prepared for this race, and just to come out here and at least show that the practice they helped me get paid off a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Dylan, for taking the time. Congrats again. Have a great night. Rest up, because we've got 3 days of race in late February in this league. So thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, and thank y'all.
Absolutely. So with that, what a race. What a way to begin the 2022 Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. I'm a little biased. I think this Super Bowl might be a little better than the one people are talking about this weekend, but I'll digress. I'll leave there. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to Extreme eSpeed TV, and you're going to see more of us. In fact, you're going to see us February 22nd, 23rd, and 24th for the Coolray Winter Nationals. Please be sure to tune in. Subscribe to our channel, Extreme eSpeed TV. Be sure to give a follow on the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series Facebook page. We love to interact. Drop us a comment. Drop us a note. Let us know any of your comments. We'll hope to have Travis more prevalent on this next broadcast. But until then, signing off from the dirt track at Charlotte, I'm Adam Johnson, joined alongside Travis Beersfield. Have a great night, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Hello, my name is Benny Boudreau, and I created the Springrthm app. The Springrthm app allows someone who doesn't have access to a spring smasher to be able to set their car up to their manufacturer's suggested install loads and center to centers, as well as be able to figure out their dynamic loads, as well as make adjustments to them to make their handling of their car better. For someone who does have a spring smasher, Springrthm will greatly reduce the amount of time to figure out those new stack setups by allowing for instantaneous spring rate changes as well as load changes. Springrthm will even make sure that your setup doesn't coil bind at the loads that you're trying to hit. For only $4.99 a month, you too can have access to the same information that top late model teams across the country are using to gain a competitive advantage.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this